So another concept that you hear sometimes with technology and computers and operating systems is this concept of virtualization or virtual machines. And what exactly is virtualization? What are virtual machines? And why would we want them? And here's a picture, an image that really best describes virtual machines. So check it out. We were looking at our layer cake recently, right? Of operating system wiki. We were looking at this one here, right here, where we had the hardware, operating system, application, software, and then the user. So this kind of layered cake, this tiered system where hardware is here, and then the operating system is here, and then the application software is there, and the user is there. That's how we were looking at it before. And then what if we were to build in another layer here, which allowed multiple operating systems to be run on the same hardware. But in addition, we could have multiple operating systems run on the same hardware. But each operating system we could specify, right, and make it think it's running on a certain type of hardware configuration. So instead of this much RAM, maybe that much RAM. Instead of this CPU, maybe that CPU. So virtualization is working with a given hardware platform and then creating virtual environments on top of it. So we could create an environment where there is a different hardware configuration and a different operating system on top of it. And we could do that multiple times on the same system, the same machine, the same hardware base, the real hardware base, not the virtual hardware base. So this image really kind of captures what virtualization and virtual machines are all about. So here you have your hardware layer, and then you could run a virtualization software like VMware, which is the industry leader when it comes to virtualization, right? Here's VMware. I'm just looking to see if they say we are the industry leader, but I'm not seeing it there. Am I seeing it here? I don't know. It's somewhere in there. Anyhow, you would have your hardware, and then you'd run a virtualization layer. And you could have your operating system there, hardware, operating system, virtualization layer. And you could create virtual machines with any, virtual hardware specifications that you liked. And you can run different operating systems on these virtual machines. So here's a Windows operating system, here's a Linux. And you could then run applications on top of each of those operating systems. So you're creating virtual machines here. And here you have virtual machines. And those are also kind of like sandboxes. So what happens in this virtual machine is not going to impact what happens in any of these other virtual machines. So that's virtualization, and allows better use of hardware resources. So if originally we had these 4 different environments right here installed on 4 separate machines, let's say we did, and each of those machines is only being used to 20% of capacity. Well, we put them all in the same actual physical real world machine, and now this real world machine is being used to 80% of capacity, and we only have to have one machine, one server. So virtualization allows for better utilization of hardware resources, plus it allows you to run environments that are protected, so you could experiment and try things and not mess up stuff. So that's a little bit about virtualization and what it is, and why it developed, and why you might want to use it.